Before I even begin telling you how I did what I did, I'm gonna show you my body because I guess like you need proof and you wanna see blah blah blah. Bit of background about me, I'm 28 years old, I'm gonna be turning 29 in like 6 months. And I used to be a bit overweight, not anymore. And this is how my body, sorry if you see my underwear, looks at the moment after me eating a very big pizza last night. I haven't exercised for the past, I think, 2 weeks. I'm also on my period currently. I also haven't been exercising for the past weeks because when I do exercise, like minimally, nothing at all, like maybe a 10-minute ab workout or something like that, you will see abs. Like you will see them showing. I can make other videos when I'm in that mood again, but I just wanted to show that this is how I look right now. I'm 28, like I'm not a teenager. It's not something that you're gonna be like, oh no, it's because she's young and her metabolism, blah, blah, blah. No. I was not used to looking like this a few years ago because a few years ago I was actually overweight. I weighed it was 16 kilos. I don't know how much that is in, let me check. That's 35. So I lost 35 pounds. I'm gonna say in the process of a month because I actually lost the weight in a month, from like 1 month to the next, which to me is crazy because like technically a doctor would tell you that that's not healthy. But the thing is, it happened like automatically. Like I just did the prior work to that and then my body just like decided to let go of the weight. I do have to say that I'm gonna ask you to watch this video till the end. You're gonna listen to this video, and maybe you're gonna think like this woman's crazy, like it's not possible that you lose weight this way. But it is, because like I made it happen on me, and then I had other friends who were a bit overweight and who needed help, and I helped them with my advice and they lost weight too, and they were like as astounded as I was. So like please listen to the end and then try it out if you want. Like it's free, like there's nothing that you need to pay for to try all these. And if it doesn't work for you, then you can come back, hate on me and tell me whatever, but everyone that has tried this, it has worked for them. So if you want to lose weight but with no exercise, no diet, no nothing, please watch this video till the end, okay? Great. We're gonna rewind to the past, to a point where I had started gaining weight. And I did not know why, because I used to be like kind of skinny, but not too skinny back then, because I remember like I never really had a flat stomach like I do have now. There was also like always these weird areas where like my body would put weight, like my legs, my belly, this and that, even though I was kind of skinny. And I never understood why, and like I worked out like crazy. There were moments where I did diets, intermittent fasting, keto diet, like every diet, anything that you can think of, like I've tried all of them and nothing did anything to me. Then some years go by, I go through some things in my personal life, and from like literally from 1 month to the next, I started gaining weight like crazy. I did not understand why, because like the more I started noticing that I was putting on weight, at the beginning I thought like, well, maybe it's because I'm getting older, my metabolism isn't working as it used to, blah blah blah, let me start exercising. And I exercised and this and that, and I gained muscle, and obviously that probably added to the weight. But every time I saw myself in the mirror, I looked swollen, like not in a, I know that when you start building muscle, you start looking swollen at the beginning and then it goes away, but with me, it just never went away. And I realized that with time, it's like, obviously there was a part of that weight that was muscle probably, but I realized that I looked like bulked up. When I was younger and I worked out, like my body never looked like, and there were moments where like I stopped exercising for a while and this and that, but my body still looked exactly the same, and that weight just decided not to go away. And then I fasted for like weeks. I mean, I tried a lot of different things, okay? Because I was kind of desperate, because there was a point in my life where, I mean, you can call me fat phobic. You can. Like, I just didn't like how I looked because I just didn't feel like myself, and there was something that was missing. There were periods where I would like do all the cardio in the world just to not put any more muscle, just to lose the fat. I tried boxing, I tried CrossFit, I tried everything. And the weird thing about it is that there was a time where I remember that I was probably just doing cardio to like lose a bit of weight, or like ab workouts, or like very simple things. I was eating like 800 calories a day, and I'm like 6 feet. I'm tall, like that's not the amount of calories that I should be eating, like at all. And I do not recommend this and nothing like that. But I was so desperate that I was like, I need to eat like as little as possible, because I need to see if like my body's even responding to any of these things. Because like any person who like has a calorie deficit will lose weight if they do it the right way. I hired a nutritionist, I did everything. Nothing worked. Even my nutritionist, dietitian, I don't know what the word for that is. But even she was like, Ada, this is not normal. Like, you should be seeing results. And I was like, I know. Like, there's something in my body that's just like not wanting to lose the weight. So at some point I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna give up. And so at some point I just decided to give up and just be like, you know what, this is my new body. I'm fat now, and like, that's what it is. And you're just gonna, I don't know. And then at some point I was just like, you know what? No. Like, there has to be another way. There has to be something else. And I started working on myself, and this was like maybe like the beginning of like my second spiritual awakening or third, I don't know. I've had many in the past years. But I remember that during that spiritual awakening, I had been doing work on myself, but I realized that there were a lot of different things inside of me that I had not fully processed. And then one day someone told me this concept about emotional weight, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I started looking into it, and I realized that there's this thing that's called emotional weight. That's something that your body just kind of holds on for its dear life when it doesn't feel safe. And when it doesn't feel safe because you've been through trauma, you've been through some kind of experience that just like doesn't let you feel safe, or you just don't want people to see you, you create this energetic armor that kind of protects you, and that is weight. And sometimes for people it can be weight, it can be acne, it can be breaking out, it can be a lot of different things, and for me it was weight. And I was like, interesting. So how do you like start feeling safer and solving these things? Because I was more focused on like my inner problems, inner traumas, inner child work and all of that. And I was like, you know what, that's something that I wanted to do anyway, so I'm just gonna focus on that and see if that has any repercussions on my weight. I kid you not, like I started doing that, and I think in the span of like 2-3 months, I did a lot of like inner work, inner healing, blah, blah, blah. During that time, I stopped working out. I stopped looking at what I was eating. I started actually eating more and just eating whatever the frick I wanted. Like pizzas, like every time I wanted a pizza, I would be like, you know what? Fuck it, I just want a pizza. I'm just not gonna care, because like I've just accepted that this body is what it is. So I just let go completely. I just decided I did not care about my body at all. And for the first 3 months, I realized like I gained a bit more weight, but afterwards, there was like one day that from 1 month till the next, I lost the 35 pounds, like they were gone. And I remember that the months before, like all I did was like a lot of healing exercises, a lot of crying, lots of journaling, lots of different things, lots of like reprogramming meditations, blah, blah, blah. And that led to me losing all the weight. And not just losing all the weight, because this happened like January this year. So what are we now? September? Okay, I've not put on any weight. And when I say that I've been eating everything that I want, because some people have been telling me like, no, that's probably because you had a calorie deficit and you're probably still with a calorie deficit. Like, no. I actually keep on losing weight sometimes. I actually keep on like not putting in more weight, even though I like eat pizzas every time. Like I told you, like I ate pizza last night because I'm on my period week, and on this week, for example, I just allow myself to eat whatever the frick I want. And it's just magical. Like I felt like I had done or achieved something magical. I was like, how did I do this? Like I don't understand. How is this not taught to people, that like working on your emotions and like working on your emotional well-being actually has an impact on weight? And that's when I realized, because I've done like a lot of like inner soul searching or whatever you want to call it, and I realized that the weight is not the root cause. The weight is a symptom. And what people do with diet and exercise is kind of like treating the symptom, and you don't need to treat the symptom, you need to treat the root cause. And that's what I feel like a lot of people do wrong, and I feel like that's why a lot of people like maybe try diets and exercising and it works amazing for them, but the moment they stop, they go back to the weight that they don't want, because that weight has a deeper root cause that you can fix. And that's something that I fixed. So I'm gonna tell you how I fixed it. Sorry for like the super long introduction, but I just wanted to give like my whole backstory for people to just be like, okay, this is what you went through. So the different things that I did. The first thing, which is like, it's gonna sound so stupid, but it's actually like kind of difficult if you're not used to it, is like feeling your feelings. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean? The first thing you need to do is find what event probably caused it. Like for some people, I think it might be like different events that just like summed up, because I feel like for me it was like a few different things. But one of the main things for me was like, for example, my breakup with my toxic partner a few years ago. And after that, like there were some other things that just added to the process. And to that, there were like other traumatic things that happened to me that added to the experience. I had not processed most of the feelings that came with that. Like I just decided to repress everything. And I remember there were like 2 years of my life in the last years where I just did not cry at all. Like I maybe cried during like a movie or something like that, but I used to cry a lot. Not a lot, but like I will cry whenever I feel something bad or something. There were 2 years of my life where I just don't cry. I didn't cry. There were 2 years of my life where I absolutely did not cry at all. And I was like, Ada, this is weird. And I remember once I started doing all of this, I started allowing myself to be in my feels and to get them out and this and that. And like the months prior to losing all the weight, I cried. I just literally cried a lot. I just cried myself to sleep so many nights because like it's like if you have this big closet and you know that the moment you open the doors of the closet, you're just gonna like have a lot of things falling all at once. So that's basically what happened with me crying. Like I had closed that closet for like so long and I was so scared to open it because I knew that the moment I would open it, it was not going to be like a tidy closet that you can just take things out and just process everything individually. No, everything was going to fall on me. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people are very scared of, and that's why they don't open that closet, but then they stay with problems that they don't like. So I started journaling a lot. I started journaling to like see exactly where all my problems were coming from, like where maybe I had some repressed things. And then every time like I had something come up, I just like decided to like sit with it, experience it, let it go out, let it get out, let it be processed. And like I do have to say that the first month of this was very intense, where like I don't want to call it panic attacks, but I remember there were moments where I just like started crying so heavily that I just started like trembling. My voice was trembling and I felt like I was gonna die. Like I felt so much pain. There were moments I remember I was feeling like I now do understand that people who like unalive themselves, because like this is a lot and I've been like repressing this for like a long time. But once I like kind of like cleaned everything up, since then I've continued to process anything that came up, but it was like new emotions. It was not like a lot of old baggage that was there. Like the old baggage was cleared and now I'm just like used to this practice of like anytime something comes up, I just like sit with it, process it so that it doesn't go into the closet and I don't have a freaking full closet. Now it's an empty closet where like maybe I might repress like a small thing or two, but I will try to find the ways to work through it. The second thing that I did is a lot of the trauma that we do have gets stored in the body, and that's something that my therapist told me a long time ago, and I kind of like didn't listen to him, and he never really gave me exercises to work on that. But after a few years, like if I worked with my body and did certain exercises, it would like help me. It would help me a lot. And the exercise that I started doing that I feel like has helped wonders, and it's just like so easy to do, is like dancing. It's dancing. I started dancing every morning for like 5-10 minutes. And when I say dancing, I don't mean like you put in like a song from Britney Spears and you just do like a choreography to it, or you just feel like you're in the club and you have to like dance in a pretty way for guys to look at you or for girls to look at you, but more in the sense of like, you know, when you dance like this and you just like, I think there's a name for it, like ecstatic dance is probably something similar, where you just like, you feel the music in your body and you just move and you just don't care what anyone is thinking, because like you're doing this in your own room without no one watching. So it feels weird at the beginning, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try, because I felt really good afterwards every time I did it. And I remember like especially at the beginning of this, like every few days that I danced, I would start crying after that. And the reason is because like there was trauma stored in different parts of my body. In my case, it's especially in the hips. I guess for women in general, like I think we store a lot of like trauma in the hips and a lot of fears, a lot of like insecurities and all of that. The days where I moved my hips more, it's just like there were things that just got triggered and just like were released, and that was just amazing. And then the third thing I did is reprogramming meditations, which if anyone is interested, because I don't know how many people are gonna watch this video, let me know, because I do have the one that I filmed for myself that has been doing wonders for me, and I can make another video with that meditation if anyone is interested. I started listening to that every day, sometimes at night, sometimes during the day, and it's just like a reprogramming meditation that's specifically made for weight loss, because I found one online and then I just changed it a little bit to like my specific needs on like safety and all of those things. And that meditation is just like amazing. Like I have it on my Spanish channel in Spanish, and it has helped a lot of people. So if anyone wants it in English, let me know. I will make the English version of it. But at the end of the day, it's like a lot of the problems or a lot of the beliefs that we have are in our subconscious mind. And the only way to change them is actually like when we are in that meditative state or like in a half sleep state. So the best way to change these things is to just like be in that like relaxed state when you're meditating, and then it's way easier to change those beliefs more than if you're just like trying to fight them whenever they come up. Like, and the fourth thing that I did that I feel like it's maybe I can make a whole separate video about it is, and this is for me as a woman, but I guess for a man it's gonna be the same thing, is like reconnecting to my feminine energy. And you're gonna be like, what is this? To kind of like strip yourself away from all these things that people have been expecting of you and just take life slowly. You don't need to be like working all the time, you don't need to be doing all these things all the time, and you don't need to live in this like flight or fight response. Like, I think for men it would work probably the same way if with their masculine energy, or like maybe for them even connecting to their feminine energy, because like, you know that everyone has both of them. But I feel like I had been running around like a headless chicken for a long time, where I just never took time to rest, and whenever I rested I also didn't really know how to just like sit down and just don't do anything. But the moment I decided that I was not gonna work out anymore, I was like, well, I'm gonna spend more time just like maybe doing nothing, maybe doing things that really bring me joy, do this, do that, but just like take life slowly. My anxiety mostly went away. I enjoyed the things that I was doing, and the moment I ate something that I cook, or like I painted something, or I played the piano, or did whatever it was, I just felt way more connected to it. And yeah, those are all the things that I did. So I hope everything that I explained made sense. I know that it's kind of like a weird thing if you've always only looked at diets and like exercises, because like that's where I came from, and then I found this world, and then I tried all of this and I was like, oh, this actually works. I wanted to do a before and after picture, but the thing is I don't have that many pictures because I was kind of ashamed of my body. But I remember being in a moment where also like, it's not just the weight, it's also like I didn't feel like myself. I felt like there was something there that was missing, and I found it again. So I hope this helps you with your weight loss journey, and if anyone like starts applying all this advice, please comment below. I would love to know like how it works out for you, and if you have any questions, and you know, so give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next week.